After spending a year following a group of cadets to document their training at the San Antonio Police Department's nationally recognized academy, a San Antonio Express News reporter is telling their stories. And audio obtained by the San Antonio Express News shows the content of some calls were changed or modified for a recent city video campaign to educate the public on the proper use of 911 services that featured Police Chief William McManus and Fire Chief Charles Hood reading and poking fun at trivial 911 calls and callers. Good morning. Those are your headlines from expressnews.com. I'm Chance Dorland with your Express News briefing for Friday, March 9th. Brought to you this morning by North Park Mazda, the #1 Mazda dealer in Texas last month. Amid national dialogue about police training and the growing risks of wearing the uniform, for over a year, a reporter and photographer from the San Antonio Express News were granted exclusive access to follow 38 cadets of the San Antonio Police Department in order to document how the agency prepares new officers. All 5 parts of Express News criminal justice enterprise reporter Emily Eaton's year-long research are now available on our website, expressnews.com. And I spoke with her about the assignment for today's edition of the In-Depth podcast.
The police department really touts its academy as one of the best in the nation. And they say that they select only the best of the best. So in order to even get into the academy, you have to be no younger than 20 and no older than 45. You have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to have a good driving record, and you have to have a GED or high school diploma. And then from there, it's actually an 8-step process where they take an oral interview. There's a cognitive exam, a background test. There's a lot of different steps to make sure that the applicants are being truthful and that they really are a good fit for the department.
According to FBI data, since dipping between 2007 and 2013, the number of police officers fatally attacked in the line of duty has gradually increased, with 14 U.S. law enforcement officers already killed this year, compared to 5 during the same time in 2017. Law enforcement officers in San Antonio have not been immune to the violence, and during the cadets' training, 1 San Antonio police officer was killed and 2 other officers seriously attacked while on duty.
Officer Moreno's death definitely sort of hung over the rest of their training at the academy. A week later, after Hell Day, they went through taser training where a select number of cadets chose to be tased. And it was really a really awful few weeks, as you can imagine. And then a couple days later, they attended the funeral of Officer Miguel Moreno, and they actually played a role in the funeral where they stood at attention outside as his casket was being let out, and his parents followed the casket. So it brought it home for them. And the instructors continually emphasized throughout the rest of the academy, I guess there was probably another couple months at that point, this is why you're going through training, to make sure this never happens to you and this never happens to your family. You need to make sure that you take this training seriously so that you can go home at the end of the day.
The 32-week training, which Chief William McManus touts as one of the best in the nation, also offers a glimpse into the unique lives of the men and women who wear the blue. The 38 cadets who started the training with Class 2017 Alpha include a former Whole Foods manager, a medical student, a physical trainer, a police dispatcher, a jail detention officer, and several military veterans. 6 are women, and roughly half the group is Hispanic, though none were African American.
Could I make this schedule work and still be a mom? And I wanted to do both. It's real important to me that I'm still 100% a mom to my girls. And working dog watch, because that's where we're all going to end up, is perfect for me because I can be me at night. I can do what I really want to do, and then I can still be a mom. So that process to transition, it was hard. I had to let go of a lot because while we're at the academy, I have an hour drive here every morning. I leave at 5. I don't get home till 6 o'clock at night. I was giving up all this time I had with my kids and my husband to do this. So that played a big factor of whether or not I was going to go ahead and pursue it. And, again, we kept talking, this is something I really wanted to do. And so I don't regret it.
Find more details on Emily Eaton's year-long embed with San Antonio Police Department cadets at expressnews.com. And our 35-minute conversation on today's episode of the In-Depth podcast is available for free download online at expressnews.com/podcasts.
Hi, I'm Chief William McManus. Welcome to another edition of Real 911 Calls. Yeah, really.
In the first episode of Real 911 Calls, a city campaign to educate residents on the proper use of 911, Police Chief William McManus scoffed at the supposed emergency of someone ordering a large pepperoni pizza.
Yes, hi, I'm starving. Can I get a large pepperoni from the closest pizza joint? Are you kidding me? We're also not the San Antonio Pizza Department. Try 411.
But audio obtained by the San Antonio Express News indicates the call wasn't real, and two others featured in the video were modified to fit the purpose of the campaign, with the video in question racking up over 72,000 views and 685 shares on Facebook. But despite the success, there was no 911 caller asking for a pizza delivery, as the actual caller seemed to think he had dialed 411 directory assistance to ask for the phone number of the exquisite escort service.
This is San Antonio 911. This is Charleston Williams, Police, Fire, EMS.
Yes, San Antonio,
Yes,
Texas.
sir. How can I help you?
Exquisite escorts.
What about it, sir?
The number, please.
Excuse me?
The phone number.
Another supposed 911 call read by Chief McManus was from a resident who complimented the police.
You guys do such great work behind the scenes. I just called to say I love you. Stevie Wonder, ladies and gentlemen.
But audio shows the call was actually placed to the city's non-emergency number, not 911.
San Antonio Police, this is Mary. How may I help you?
Good morning, Mary. Thank you, first of all, for everything that you folks do out there for us.
Thank you.
The city later admitted it was a mistake to include that call, but stood by the decision. In a third call on the video,
Hi, can you come help? I'm stuck on a carnival ride and the girl behind me is puking. Really, dude? I hope that wasn't your first date, but it definitely wasn't a reason to call 911.
but McManus did not mention what the audio of the call actually revealed.
I'm on a carnival ride and it's not stopping, and my person beside me has puked. Can you get the cops at Fiesta to stop? Like, we can't get a hold of the people. Like, nothing's wrong. She's just puking, but I think it's shutting down now.
Okay, so
Sorry.
everything's
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. This is all I could think of. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
After the video campaign garnered wide attention on social media and some national news outlets, the Express News asked for audio of the original calls featured in the public service campaign. The city's February 26 news release about the campaign did say the video was inspired by real 911 requests. However, the videos themselves and posts on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube did not provide that explanation. City officials say they stand by the campaign and the creative approach they took to ensure it was noticed by a wide audience, noting that the underlying message is what's most important.
Look, you know the difference. Now make sure you know the number. If it's an emergency, call 911. If it's not an emergency, you can always call 207-SAPD.
In addition to these headlines, our reporters are working on additional stories, like a third suspect in the December 2012 starvation death of a 5-year-old boy scheduled to be sentenced this morning. Josiah Williams' father, Charleston Williams, is the final suspect to face the judge in the death of his son, who was beaten, malnourished, kept in a closet, and slept in a lawn chair, while other children in the home were able to eat and had their own rooms. The child's mother and stepfather each have already been sentenced to prison. And a day before International Women's Day on Wednesday, women shined in Tuesday's primaries, as Texas voters propelled historic numbers of women to victory in primaries for U.S. Congress and state legislative races, fueling a pink wave amid a national reckoning over sexual harassment and women's marches in protest of President Donald Trump. And that's your Express Briefing for Friday, March 9th from expressnews.com, brought to you this morning by North Park Mazda, the #1 Mazda dealer in Texas last month. I'm Chance Dorland.